The Diary of a Young Girl, also known as The Diary of Anne Frank, is a deeply moving and insightful first-hand account of the life of a Jewish girl, Anne Frank, who lived during the Nazi occupation of the Netherlands during World War II. Written between 1942 and 1944, the diary provides an intimate look into Anne's thoughts, fears, hopes, and experiences as she and her family hid from the Nazis in a secret annex in Amsterdam. Introduction to Anne and the Diary. Anne Frank was born on June 12, 1929, in Frankfurt, Germany. She grew up in a loving, middle-class Jewish family. When Adolf Hitler came to power in Germany, the Frank family fled to the Netherlands to escape persecution. However, after the Nazi occupation of the Netherlands in 1940, life became increasingly dangerous for Jewish families. In July 1942, Anne, her parents, Otto and Edith Frank, her older sister Margot, and 4 other Jews, the Van Pels family and a dentist named Fritz Pfeffer, went into hiding in the secret annex of Otto Frank's office building in Amsterdam. Life in the secret annex. Anne's diary begins on her 13th birthday in June 1942, just before her family went into hiding. She writes vividly about the fear and tension of adjusting to life in confinement. Despite the situation, Anne's youthful spirit shines through. She gives each of her diary entries the greeting "Dear Kitty," and in it, she reflects on the dynamics between the residents of the annex, her own feelings, and the hope for a brighter future. In the secret annex, Anne shares a small, cramped space with her family and the others. Privacy is scarce, and the tension is palpable. There are frequent arguments between the residents due to the stress of their situation, and Anne documents these conflicts with a sharp eye for detail. She also describes the constant fear of discovery, the sound of bombs and gunfire in the distance, and the difficulty of being confined indoors for extended periods. Still, Anne manages to maintain a sense of humor and optimism throughout her writing. Anne's emotional and intellectual growth. Throughout the diary, Anne shows incredible emotional and intellectual growth. She begins to reflect on her relationships with her family and the other people in hiding. She has a particularly tumultuous relationship with her mother, Edith, whom she feels is too critical and distant. And idolizes her father, Otto, who she views as the most understanding and kind person in her life. As she matures and struggles with feelings of isolation and the desire to be heard and understood, she longs for deeper connections, and this is exemplified by her budding romance with Peter Van Pels, the teenage son of the other family in hiding. Their relationship, although short-lived, provides Anne with comfort and a distraction from the hardships of life in hiding. Anne's writing also shows a keen interest in philosophy, religion, and politics. She contemplates the nature of good and evil, the meaning of suffering, and the moral dilemmas faced by the Jewish people during the war. Her insights reveal a depth of thought far beyond her years. The realities of war. The diary captures the realities of living under Nazi persecution, and writes about the news they receive from the outside world through radio broadcasts and updates from their helpers, who bring them food and other necessities. They hear about the deportations of Jews to concentration camps and the horrors of the Holocaust. These events weigh heavily on Anne as she grapples with the uncertainty of her own fate and the suffering of millions of others. Despite the grim reality, Anne holds on to hope. She dreams of becoming a writer and imagines a future where she can help others by sharing her experiences. Her diary becomes a way for her to process her emotions and make sense of the world around her. Betrayal and capture. Tragically, Anne's diary ends abruptly in August 1944 when the secret annex is discovered by the Nazis. The Franks, Van Pels, and Fritz Pfeffer are arrested and deported. Anne and her sister Margot are eventually sent to the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp, where they both die of typhus in early 1945, just months before the camp is liberated by Allied forces. Anne's father, Otto Frank, is the only member of the family to survive the Holocaust. After the war, he returns to Amsterdam and discovers Anne's diary, which had been preserved by one of the family's helpers, Miep Geese. Otto fulfills Anne's dream of becoming a writer by publishing her diary in 1947 under the title Het Achterwijs, The Secret Annex. Themes in the diary. The horrors of war and persecution. Anne's diary provides a poignant and personal account of the impact of Nazi persecution on Jewish families. Her descriptions of the fear, uncertainty, and loss experienced by the Jews during the Holocaust are both heartbreaking and illuminating. The diary serves as a reminder of the atrocities committed during the war and the importance of remembering the victims. Hope and resilience. Despite the dire circumstances, Anne's diary is filled with hope and resilience. She refuses to give in to despair and continues to dream of a better future. Her belief in the goodness of people, despite the evil she witnesses, is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. The search for identity and independence. As Anne grows up in the annex, she embarks on a journey of self-discovery. She grapples with her identity, her desires, and her place in the world. Her reflections on growing up, love, and family dynamics are relatable to anyone who has experienced adolescence. Isolation and loneliness. The diary also explores the theme of isolation, both physical and emotional. Anne's confinement in the annex mirrors the emotional isolation she feels as she struggles to connect with those around her. Her writing becomes a way for her to combat this loneliness and express her innermost thoughts. The role of writing as catharsis. For Anne, writing is a form of catharsis. Through her diary, she processes her emotions and finds solace in expressing herself. Her desire to become a writer and share her story with the world underscores the importance of storytelling in making sense of difficult experiences. Legacy and impact. Since its publication, The Diary of a Young Girl has been translated into more than 70 languages and has sold millions of copies worldwide. It remains one of the most important and widely read accounts of the Holocaust. Anne's diary has inspired generations of readers and has been adapted into plays, films, and other media. It serves as both a historical document and a literary masterpiece, offering insight into the human condition during one of the darkest periods in history. The diary is a powerful reminder of the devastating effects of hatred, prejudice, and war. It also stands as a tribute to the enduring strength of the human spirit, as embodied by Anne Frank, who, even in the face of unimaginable suffering, never lost hope in the possibility of a better world. In conclusion, The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank is a timeless work that continues to resonate with readers across the globe. Through her vivid and honest writing, Anne Frank gives voice to the millions of Jews who suffered during the Holocaust and leaves behind a legacy of courage, hope, and the unyielding desire for freedom.